Hooray for Hollywood! Hello there, I am Stan the Movie Man, and this is my WIMZ.com movie review for April 2019. This month, I went to see Breakthrough. It stars Chrissy Metz, also Josh Lucas, Topher Grace, Mike Colter, Marcel Ruiz, and more. It is the true story of a young boy named John Smith, played by Marcel Ruiz, who, while playing with some of his fellow high school friends out on a frozen lake, they all three fall through the ice. Now, John sinks and is finally rescued by Tommy Shine, played by Mike Colter. But he's been under the water for a full 15 minutes, and when they get him to the hospital, they work on him for another 45, and his heart never starts again. His mother, Joyce Smith, played by Chrissy Metz, is called in to say her goodbyes, essentially, because the medical team at the emergency room has given up. She begins crying hysterically and calling out to God to give her back her son, and his heart starts beating again. And he is transferred to a hospital in St. Louis, where he is put under the care of an expert in drowning cases named Dr. Garrett, played by Dennis Haysbert, who tells Joyce and her husband Brian, played by Josh Lucas, that the probability of him living through the night is very low, and even if he does survive, he will likely have brain damage, but severe brain damage. But Joyce does not let the doctor's prognosis get in the way of her faith and her belief that God will heal her son. This is based on a true story and a book written by the real Joyce Smith about the entire experience. And it's a pretty good movie. Now, sometimes the message is delivered in a very heavy-handed style. For instance, a lot of the people that represent science or secularism they dismiss Joyce's belief out of hand. She overhears some doctors talking about John's case, and they say, why are they wasting the resources on a lost cause? And she gives them what for when she steps into the room. And some parents of friends of John's that have come to visit him, they say they don't want to be around him when he dies, and she gives them what for as well, that there will only be positive statements made anywhere around John or in her vicinity. And, you know, that kind of thing, you know, granted, they're preaching to the choir in this movie because mostly it's the choir that's going to show up in the audience. But for the most part, the movie's very well done, and I thought handled pretty well. Nobody in the film is perfect. Joyce is prideful in her faith, and that becomes an issue later on. John is, the kid is, well, he's adopted. He was adopted from Guatemala when he was 5 months old, when his parents were on a mission trip down there. And he's got a chip on his shoulder about being Hispanic and raised in a white family, and the fact that his birth mother didn't want him. So that comes out in him being arrogant at times and getting into a fight or two and blowing off his schoolwork because he's a star basketball player. So what's the point in doing that? I'm a star basketball player. And you know, and there are others in the film that display some weakness, if you will, some failures in their lives, but it's all handled really, really well, I think. And Chrissy Metz is terrific as Joyce. She is the glue that holds this film together, because the movie's mostly about her. John is the catalyst that kicks things off, but the film focuses on Joyce and her reaction to these events and how she handles it, and her unwavering faith, but at the same time, her own personal weaknesses that get in the way, that actually drive people away from her. And it's a really a moving, effective performance that, if her work wasn't good, this whole movie would fall apart. But she's excellent in the film, and of course you will recognize her from the TV show This Is Us. But I think Chrissy Metz has a definite career in movies if that's the way she chooses to go. She's terrific in this movie, and this movie's very good. That's why I'm giving it 4 guitars. Go to WIMZ.com in the blog section to read my complete review. You can check out my weekly reviews that I do at StanTheMovieMan.com. Listen to The Fractured Frame, a podcast about the entertainment business. We get together, some friends of mine and I, and discuss what's going on in movies, TV, and streaming. You can click on, if you're watching this on WIMZ.com, you can click on the podcast button above my head, or you can download it wherever you get podcasts. Follow me on Twitter at MovieManStan, and send emails if you'd like, StanTheMovieMan123 at gmail.com. Till next time, later.